Well, I tried a few different starting pets. I'm actually gonna talk about it from here. Um, I wanted to try starting pets that did not require pens and didn't require tameness maintenance, which is a very short list, um, because one or the other um, is easier than both. So I tried Huskies. All of the dogs are going to be the same experience, except for, size and, you know, aesthetic. But the dogs were a big no. They were worse than having nothing because they are just stomachs walking around needing to be filled. They can't do anything, but they need to be fed. They can't feed themselves. So they were a very fast fuck this no. So I went to cats because cats will actually go hunt and feed themselves, which was a big improvement. And whether it's a tamed predator, which needs to be maintained, which was something I was trying to avoid. Um, I wanted something that was a set it and forget it, or as close to it as I could get. Cats are better. They were actually remarkably similar to the Cobra experience, save for the taming maintenance. In that they will go hunt for themselves, but they also get hurt in the process. The cats more so than the cobras were. So I had to have someone on hand to keep patching them up. Also, the litter sizes meant that I couldn't have and keep adult females. I could have one, she could have her litter of 4 or 5, more than replacing herself in the process, and then be culled because otherwise you end up with a colony overflowing with cats very, very quickly. Um, so they feed themselves was great, but they keep getting hurt um, was a bit distracting and time consuming. It also meant that the person who was doing that tending couldn't go couldn't like leave and trade. If the one who was doing the medic was also the one that would do the social, that wouldn't work for leaving the house for trading. Um, but the fiddly management for population control, this applies in the real world as well with feral cat populations and not so feral ones as well. But the population management issue with the cats became I am spending more time on this than I would like to. Yes, you're feeding yourselves, thank you. I wish you would stop losing body parts to fights with various creatures. Um, but yeah, they were a significant improvement over the dogs in that they could at least feed themselves. And oh, right. Predators you own, tamed, or whatever. Predators you own, the things they kill, you don't have to go find on the map and allow so that they will automatically be hauled and butchered. Um, so there is the other upside of you get some meat that way, and once you butcher the body, depending on how you do your zoning, it makes eating the rest of that body more efficient for the rest of them, including yourselves if there's enough to actually turn into something else. So there is the convenience of that, whereas I have to keep tabs on the predators and the wildlife and go find and allow the bodies they leave scattered across the map. So, better than dogs for practicality purposes, but still more micromanaging than I was hoping to have, so I also nixed that. And then all of the other things require pens, which I am not going to have at the start. So that pen needs to be in whatever small house I build, which is unreasonable, and then I can't stop them from eating the things I need to make the kibble out of. So they're fucking with my food supply directly. Or, like with iguanas and other, but the reptiles are, keep them in a home area, keep them in a different area, let them have free reign. The reptiles don't need pens, so even if it were an iguana or tortoise, there's still you have to maintain their tameness, so you have to have enough in animals and have the time and the spare food to. It doesn't take a lot of food to do the training, but if you don't have any spare food, you might care. It's more I don't want to have to do the maintenance, at least not right up front. So that's why the ones that could feed themselves that aren't obligate carnivores weren't on the list. They require additional maintenance in a different way. They're also egg layers that would not have the litters and litters leading to hordes of cats problem, but still more work up front than I want to do. Like later on, when I have a house and my own food supply and that's stable, that's fine. From the start, no. If it can feed itself, good, but tameness is a distraction that I really didn't want to have to set time aside for, or just let them go wild. Because if I don't have the skill to maintain them, I start with them, I can benefit from them, and then before they lose that last bit of tameness, just slaughter them, and that's more efficient meat than hunting. Is maybe the way to go about that, but not the way I wanted to. So I have poked around with the various options that are simplest to start with, and they don't work out for me, not the way I would like them to. So animals have turned out to be a wait until something tames itself and then make decisions from there. Or wait until I've actually already built the space and then go out and tame them for myself. But starting with them just doesn't work for me and the way I go about it. But what I had mentioned yesterday that I was going to try dogs and see how that went. And I have a how that went.